Good morning, students. Students, today we will be discussing a topic refraction of light through prism. You might have seen prism in your labs, and today we will see how light ray bends when it travels through prism and what happens to a light ray when it exits the prism. But before starting today's topic, let's recall the topic refraction. Students, here you can see a diagram in which there is incident ray. When it comes from a medium and enters into another medium, both mediums are having different refractive indexes. Then in medium second, in which it is entering, it bends. It deviates from its original path. If the medium 2 is denser, then the incident ray will bend towards the normal, and if the medium 2 is rarer as compared to medium 1 in which incident ray exists, then in medium 2 the light ray will bend away from the normal. Now, starting with the definition of refraction. Refraction is the bending of a wave when it enters a medium where its speed is different. We can define refraction as refraction of light refers to the change in direction of a ray of light when it enters from one medium to another medium. Clear? Now, laws of reflection. You have studied there are two laws of refraction. The first one is the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal of the interface or two medium at the point of incidence. All these three lie on the same plane. The incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal all lie on the same plane. Second, the ratio of sine of angle of incidence and angle of refraction is constant. This ratio is constant, and this is also known as Snell's law of refraction. Sine I by sine R is equal to constant, where I represents angle of incidence and R represents angle of refraction. Now, what causes refraction? किस वजह से refraction होता है? The frequency of the refracted ray remains constant. Due to the particle refraction and partial absorption of light at the interface, the intensity of the refracted ray will be less than the intensity of incident ray, as if some energy will be absorbed by the medium and a part of the energy is reflected by the medium. So, the refracted ray will have less energy as compared to incident ray. When the light crosses the boundary between the two different mediums, deviation of light occurs, resulting in refraction, such that there is a change in wavelength and speed of light. It always happens. Whether the light enters from rarer medium to denser medium or from denser medium to rarer medium, there will always be a change in wavelength and speed of light. Effects of refraction. You have studied in chapter 10 effects of refraction. Twinkling of stars is due to refraction of light. Mirage and looming are optical illusion which are result of refraction. Mirage. You know mirage? What we have studied in social science? Yes, the mirage is a hypothetical, a imaginary body of water in sands when there is very much heat in the atmosphere. The land is very hot. It seems that there is water nearby. Third effect, a swimming pool always look shallower than it really is. And why is it so? Why swimming pool looks shallow? Because the light coming from the bottom of the pool bends at the surface due to refraction of light. Now what is refractive index? Refractive index, also called the index of refraction, describes how fast or slow light travels through a medium. Refractive index is dimensionless. For a given medium, the refractive index is the ratio between the speed of light in vacuum and speed of light in medium. And the formula is n is equal to c by v, where c is speed of light in vacuum and v is velocity of light in medium. We all know speed of light in vacuum is 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meters per second. Now coming to today's topic, refraction of light through a prism. But before coming to this topic, we should know something about prism. As the figure shows, this is a prism. You might have seen this type of object in your laboratory. This is a prism. Now what is a prism? It is a transparent medium bounded by two transparent medium including at some angles. Refracting surfaces of prism. Two rectangular surfaces of the prism are known as refracting surfaces of the prism. Refracting edge, line at which two refracting surfaces of a prism are meeting. These are known as refracting edges of a prism. A prism consists of two triangular surfaces and three rectangular surfaces. Angle of prism. The angle at which two surfaces are inclined, two rectangular surfaces are inclined, is known as angle of prism. Base of the prism. The rectangular surface which makes the base of the prism is called base of the prism. And when we draw a diagram of a prism, we only represent it by a triangular face. Now there is an important term, angle of deviation. The angle by which emergent ray is that ray which is coming out of the prism. I repeat, the angle by which emergent ray is deviated from the direction of the incident ray. Emergent ray और incident ray के बीच में जो angle बनेगा, that is known as angle of deviation. Just have a look at this picture. There is a prism shown by a triangle ABC. At point A, there is angle of prism, angle A. Angle I at point E on the rectangular surface AB. At point E, there is angle I, angle of incidence. At the same point E, there is angle R, angle of refraction. Then there is angle E, angle of emergence, and angle D at point G. This angle D is known as angle of deviation. As you can see, the incident beam is represented by a dark line, then it is represented by a dashed line. If the prism was not present here, then the ray would have followed the dashed path. As if it goes into the prism, it enters the prism, it changes its path, and when it emerges out of the prism, it again changes its path. So when we extend the emergent ray backwards. At point G, it strikes the imaginary incident beam. This angle which is forming at point G, that is the angle of deviation, represented by angle D. Here the incident ray, the refracted ray and the emergent ray. You may note that a ray of light is entering from air to the glass at the first surface AB. The light ray on refraction has bent towards the normal because glass is denser as compared to air. At the second surface, which is AC, the light ray has entered from the glass to air. Now the light ray is entering in a rarer medium, which is air. Hence it has bent away from the normal. Compare the angle of incidence and angle of refraction at each refracting surface of the prism. Is this similar to the kind of bending that occurs in glass slab, which we have studied in chapter number 10? The peculiar shape of the prism makes the emergent ray bend at an angle to the direction of the incident ray. This angle is called angle of deviation. In this case, angle D is the angle of deviation, which is at point G. I hope this figure is clear to you, and the refraction of a incident beam of a ray of light is somewhat clear to you. What is angle of I? At point E, angle of incidence. At point G, angle D is there, it is angle of deviation. Angle of E is angle of emergence. R, angle of refraction. Angle A is angle of prism. The incident ray strikes on which rectangular surface? AB surface. The emergent ray comes out of the prism from which surface? AC surface of the prism. When incident ray enters into the prism, it bends towards the normal because prism is made up of glass and glass is denser as compared to air. And when this ray comes out from the prism, it enters a rarer medium, it comes out from the glass into the air. The air is rarer as compared to glass, so it bends away from the normal. Now come to the assessment. There are few definitions in this topic. You have to define the following terms. First one is angle of incidence. Yes, the angle which the incident ray makes with the normal at the point of incidence is known as angle of incidence. What is angle of refraction? The refracted ray makes an angle with normal, that is known as angle of refraction. Now you will answer angle of deviation, angle of emergence and angle of prism. Let's conclude today's topic with the summary. Prism. Transparent medium bounded by two transparent medium including which are inclined at some angle, and this angle is known as angle of prism. Refracting surface. Two rectangular surface of the prism are known as refracting surfaces. One is from which light ray is entering and another one is from which light ray is emerging out. Refracting edges. the line at which two refracting surfaces meet. These rectangular surfaces are inclined to each other, and at the edge they are meeting. That edge is known as refracting edge, angle of prism. The angle at which two surfaces are inclined, these two rectangular faces are inclined, these are known as angle of prism. Basically, prism has three rectangular surfaces, and one is always a base and two are on its sides. Base of the prism. The rectangular surface which makes the base of the prism is known as base of the prism. So with this we conclude today's topic, and in the last there is homework for you. You have to solve assignment number 31. Thank you.